Hey, what's happening? Long time since I've been on the computer here, but we're looking at BTC and oh, has it been wild. So I got in about here and didn't have stop losses set, got too bullish, just in general too bullish. I thought we were going to continue. This was the last exit and then we were going to go. But that's why you can just never be too sure and never think that you know exactly where the market's going, because I could have easily stuck my stop loss anywhere around here and rode out this initial drop, which really sucked. But I rode this all out. I had a little bit of cash, not very much, bought in a little bit more around this area. Waited, I think I bought either here or there. Anyways, I kept this line. Went up here. I didn't cash out at that moment because alts didn't really get the reaction that I wanted back. Perfect example is DOT. So this is where I bought with DOT, was way up here. So yes, we came up here, and even on the last one, yes, we came up here. And I could have set stop losses, and in hindsight, maybe I could have, because now at this point, maybe if I set a stop loss here, you know, this would be a nice 20% grab. So I just wasn't sure where we were going from there, so I figured I'll set a stop loss here and call her good. Well, I'll take some cash on the way down. Like I've always said, I'm extremely bullish long term. Irresponsibly bullish long term. So anytime I can kind of get some cash out, take some profits, and get back in, that's great. So I just wanted to kind of show you that, you guys, why I didn't really want to cash out. But so what happened here is we came up here. We didn't make the higher high. This was the high here. We didn't make the higher high here. We didn't make the higher high here. So that's when I started setting stop losses under everything. So I've been taking out profits all the way down here with different coins. And this was my last kind of, it probably on some certain coins, you guys can maybe see ADA still in not a bad take profit area from where we were here. So it's still like, 15% there. All these other coins are just butchered. And so that's where like my stop was just kind of on the shelf and carry throughout here. So, I'm going to make some decent gains. I'm going to wait till this plays out, obviously. But a lot of these coins are already down quite a bit already, 10%. So I'm glad that I pulled out some cash. I didn't pull out, obviously, all my cash because of the situation I'm in. But yeah. And as far as long-term goes for investment, long-term holders, we need to see how this reaction plays out. So I'm gonna assume this begets more selling off because of. Let's take a look at these RSI indicators. So we got the hour heading down. We've got basically the 4 hours is the only one that's kind of looking okay. So that might, that's over the next 2 or 3 days. We might have something good. Over the next, week, looking at this day, within the next week, we might have a turnaround. So let's not get too excited here. We'd really, really want to see a break of this line that I have drawn right here. So back up a little bit here. So this trend resistance line that I have drawn here, this was a fake out, so I didn't count that. But if we could get above that line and start trading, and so here I'll pull out here. If we could come down here, and then as we go lower, this line becomes better and better, right? So if we could come here, grab another retest there and go up, that'll be great. But we'll talk about that when we get to that area, because that would take us, I'm looking for about 7 days from here, give or take, I guess. I don't know. This is just my rough analysis. Yes, 5 to 7 days. So I'm going to start it off with 5 days and keep an eye on that. We'll see 5 to 7 days. So at 5 days, I'll start looking. If I haven't made entry, we'll start seeing. But yeah, because we can also enter when we have strong bullish divergence, but you kind of just want to maybe enter 30% of your trading portfolio into when you get into here. And then once you have a break, then you can break this line, then you can enter some more. And then when you actually have this retest and it tests on this line and on a nice support level, then there's another, that's when you get an 100% and you ride this thing up type of thing. So this is a little bit longer of a video. I kind of touched on mostly short term. For the long term guys, I should have maybe talked about that earlier because I know a lot of you guys are more long term, but I think it's good to just have a good idea of short term. And then long term, I might switch it up in the future videos, do long term first because it's easy to go over. But long term, like you guys, we are low, getting low on the daily. This is a bad chart to look at long term. So here's a better one. So we're getting low on this RSI on the daily stochastic. I would still like to see this come down more on here. From a 4-hour perspective, we're really low. So 4-hour perspective on RSI is the next 2 or 3 days. So it might take about 2 or 3 days for this death, just this red that's coming in here. I'd assume we're going to keep dropping. I'd be super surprised if we just turn around from here, but I've been wrong before. So what a person could do if they still want to cash out a little bit long term, we're going to get a reaction from this, but I doubt it's going to last very long. So you'd have to be quick. But let's just go back to my other chart here. So, I haven't really even done much analysis on this, but like we're so close to the buy zone. What could happen here is we could get a reaction that comes back up to this trend line like this. Here, I'll just remove this. Oh, that. We could get a reaction that comes like this and then comes down to here. So at that point, I don't know if it'll go that high by all means, but it could come back up to here. It could trail down here, come up here a little bit, and then come down for its last final swoop. And then what I'm watching is I'm going to be buying up in this area, but I'm going to be only trading a few select coins to start off with, which is what I should have did on my first entry. Unless I was buying investment portions. Like if it's in an investment buy, you're buying it and you're not trading it anymore. But if you're buying it to trade it when you're just trying to catch these lows, you buy it, but then you set a low under the next low support. So it's okay if you buy these super lows of like ADA, DOT, Link, BNB, BCH. Like these are ones that I have that I should be bringing up here because they're more large caps. I've just been watching other ones more. And where's my BCH? So I should get some BCH on this next run because it's apparently going to be the same price as Bitcoin one day. So, and it's just people will always buy the cheaper one. And if they say Bitcoin and then they see Bitcoin Cash, when the masses really start forming in, a lot of people think they're going to buy Bitcoin Cash because it's cheaper. That's how ridiculous some of the shit is. But that's why I hold it and the only reason. But anyway, so when you get on a low, like I might have this written for DOT on some of these things. So I have a buy zone for DOT all in here, right? So if I get anywhere in here, I'm okay with buying DOT and just holding it. You know, same thing with ADA. If it goes down to $1, this buy zone, I'm just holding it, right? I'll buy it and hold it. So that's great. But say for some reason, if we start to turn around here, or if I just want to make a trade and get in here, and it's not an investment type of trade, it's an actual spot trade, short term. So what I'd want to do is when this came down here, I'd buy in here, but then I'd set a stop loss similar to where this is, and that's why I'm going to trade very small amount of coins to begin with, because when you get this big drop, you're always going to get a big reaction up, and then you're usually going to get a retest again of the low of wherever it hits. So it's best not to just get too excited and think, oh, I'm never going to get these prices again. It's best to just buy it, set a stop loss under the next support. You're only getting in like 20 to 30% of your portfolio to start. And then that way, if you get stopped out and if it goes lower, yeah, you got stopped out and lose some percentage, but then you didn't lose like 5% on your whole portfolio. You only lost 5% on, like, you know, from wherever this stop is to here, 3.38% or whatever. You only lost that on a portion of your trading portfolio. And then you can go and try and get in back again, but only with, like, I'm only going to do 2 coins this time. 2 to 3 coins. There. That's my limit. 2, max 3 coins. When I'm re-entering, if I'm doing trading, I'm just going to work with a couple different coins. It's way easier. Obviously, I have all these different picks that I'm going to buy some long-term investment stuff. And I've already bought and hold some long-term investment stuff. But the shitty thing is quite a few of them. This one's not too bad still. But lots of these coins, my buy order. I don't even know where my buy order is on this. This is how sloppy some of my charts is, you guys. But let's say it was here. So yeah, and then so like what I was trying to say is a lot of this shit was I'm in a loss. So until I come back into here, none of these are good investment buys, but I'm stuck, and that's what you have to do. If you get a bad investment and you're stuck, don't panic sell. Just wait. These coins always go back up. It takes sometimes months and years, but they always come back up, especially if you bought into good fundamental coins from the beginning. I can't say too much about the shit coins, and I apologize to anyone that played those. I got totally sucked into it. But next time I'll use those type of investments as a cue that the bull run or momentum is definitely running out, because when coins like that start getting pumped, it's just a clear sign that money's moving out of the main caps, and that's going to cause stuff to slow down and eventually crash. And that's just the way I see it now. So, but hindsight's 2020. We're gonna make lots of money this year, and especially, I'm gonna just end this, I guess, the long term for everyone. Take a look at this weekly RSI. Oh my gosh, that is like, oh my gosh, that is so low, and we are creating bullish divergence like a mother, like a mofo. I've never seen stronger bullish divergence. The thing is we'd have to go down to 4,200, maybe I don't know. I called it $4,400 for this bullish divergence to cancel out. So that means price action would have to close on the weekly below this line for this bullish divergence to no longer to be valid. All the way down to here, even if we keep dropping lower lows, this is just going to get coiled up, and it's going to be more and more and more. And the last time that we had a huge coil up and a spike, the last time that it did that, like I haven't seen a coil up like this in a long time, but the last time we had a mild coil up, let's call it, not even close to what's happening here, was there, or where is it here? No, now we're going to 2017. Like literally, I was just thinking of like, look at March, and that's where this bullish divergence is from. And that was like a crazy low. And look at how much lower the RSI is. The only thing kind of going for it, I guess, is here. Is it hasn't quite, or here, it hasn't quite created it there yet. But it's definitely created it here. And that's what I'm counting on. But if it starts to create it here, whew, that's going to be nuts too. And then same pictures painting on the month is we've got just stochastic really pulling down is one way you can look at that. RSI pulling down, getting some room to shoot back up for another long term. But once you start getting on these long terms, it's definitely different. And then range, this is quarterly. So this is by the quarter. And for some reason it doesn't show very well on Bitcoin, but yeah. There you guys go. That's a full thing. I know it was long. I don't do these video ones often, but at least you guys got a full idea of what's going to happen here and what we kind of got looking forward to and why I'm so extremely bullish long term. So thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and peace.